veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Ready to Love. We're back with Ready to Love, Season 7, Episode 10. And this episode is Broken. How are you, Kimberly? How are you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm great. And how's everybody out there in the chat? How's everybody? Welcome in. Happy Sunday. We're back with Ready to Love. Guys, you know this is Season 7, Episode 10, as I said. And we finally made it to the retreat house. Finally. We open with Jeffrey and Morgan are in the car together. So, we find out that they're girlfriends, which we always kind of suspected or kind of knew from behind the scenes, that those two were friends, which is probably why Morgan was riding so hard on Blake there. But then we see Andre and his tendril is driving apparently Cynthia and Mercedes and Mark Anthony. Okay.
Yes.
And then Anthony has both Tony and Lyndon riding in the car shotgun with him. So that's interesting. It's interesting pileups in the car, any way you look at it. Any thoughts about the car scene?
No, it was good to see Andre and Cynthia together, but that's it. My fingers are crossed.
Right. You know what? I think it's like a cameo. I mean, a confessional. It seems like I think the one thing that did come out in the car scenes were that Tony is basically saying that Marcy should have been on the way to the retreat getaway. So I thought that was a little telling that he's still talking about Marcy and she's eliminated from the show. So,
Right.
I guess he's still kind of thinking about her. And I was just thinking I was in somebody's live, I believe, and a shout out to Crystal XO. I believe it was Crystal XO who was interviewing Marcy on her channel. And Anthony, I'm sorry, not Anthony, Tony was all up in the chat. So, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, he was all up in the chat.
Goodness.
And she had good things to say about him, but I'm just wondering. Okay, we got Jay popping in. I'm gonna wait till she's ready. She's not on camera yet, so Jay, I'm not sure. Are you ready to come in? I guess she popped in. So, okay, here we go. I'm gonna add her to the stream. Hey there, Jay. Are you okay? You ready to be in the stream, or do you want me to take you down for a second?
No, I'm fine. I just changed phones, so that's why all my stuff is not loading up like it's supposed to. So.
That's all right. We were just saying about the car scene. We just got started. We were saying about the car scene, and it was anything that we observed. And I was just telling our viewers that I thought it was interesting that Tony, in his confessional, was still talking about Marcia, that she should have been on the retreat getaway. And I said, "Wow, he's still thinking about her, apparently." What do you?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, I don't think he ever stopped really thinking about her. I see. I mean, like, to be honest, she's a better match for him.
Okay.
To like have something that may potentially work for real. But
Okay.
like over Morgan, but he's choosing lust. So he gonna do what he gonna do right now. And
Okay.
I think he feels some type of way by not fighting enough for Marcia. But he just trying to play cool. At the same time, he's trying to play cool in front of Lyndon too. So he just like he not too pressed about Morgan. So
Oh, so okay, you're seeing something a little bit different, but you know what? Now that you say it that way, that it's maybe about lust for him, I guess I do see your point because I hadn't thought of it that way. I thought, well, if he really liked Marcy, why not really rock with her all the way? But I hadn't even thought about the whole emphasis or thing about men have about lust. So, yeah, the tendril. I keep calling him Andre the tendril. I don't know what else to say. He's that tendril. I can't help it. It's so noticeable. Hey there, Kirby. Hey there, Kirby. Oh, here comes Keena. Let me throw Keena into the stream too. Hey, Keena, what's going on, girl?
Hey y'all, what's up?
What's popping? What's shackalacking? I wanted to get your opinion about the car scenes. What did you think? We notice anything? Did we observe or hear anything in the car scene? As they were traveling to the getaway.
Um, I was surprised. I didn't really observe anything. I was just surprised to see Tony and what was the guy name? What's his
Lyndon, yes, Lyndon.
Lyndon riding together because it seems like they have like a weird relationship. So that was interesting.
Okay, okay. What did you think about what was it? Was it Jeffrey that says to her friend Morgan? She says, "You know what? We both have the same thing. We like two guys, one we need and one we want." Did you think? Who did you think was the guy she was saying she needed, and who was the guy that you think that she wants?
Uh, I I don't. I mean, it seems like she wants. Um,
Mark Anthony, maybe.
I think. I think she wants Mark Anthony, but probably needs somebody a little bit more secure and stable, like um, Ponytail, Featherman.
I say tendril, you say ponytail. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, like maybe more financially stable. What you
I
agree
mean,
with
she
that,
got
Kim?
three. She got three kids, so she needs somebody that can
Hmm.
like be able to help support. You know,
That's
her her
right.
her her herself and the kids.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Kimberly, do you agree with that? You think that's what she was saying when she said she wanted one and needed the other? Who did you think she was meaning?
Yeah, I could go with that one. I think, oh goodness, I just her romantic connection with Andre, or Little Twist as I call him, just seems so much
We all got
stronger,
names for him. Little twist,
right?
ponytail, tendril.
Yeah, I don't know. They're always just kissing all over each other, and then I guess he would be more available, being that he, doesn't have children. He could be more of a father figure to her children, but just how would that go with him learning how to be a father with children who are so much older?
Oh, okay, okay. With the oldest one, I think the oldest one, her oldest child's a teenager, right?
I
Wow.
believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good point. Okay. So then, when we get to the meetup, oh, I'm sorry. We as well they get to the meetup location and the singles are there. We see uncle, nephew, cousin Tommy arriving in the airboat, making a grand entrance in the swamp, calling himself Double O Negro. Oh my! Uh, tomorrow he says one lady must go home. Um, and is it me or did anybody else notice that it looked like Morgan looked a little peeved that Lyndon sat next to her in the airboat? Was it just me?
No, I
I didn't even
agree.
pay that any attention.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. Kimberly, did you notice that too, or did you see
Yes,
it?
yes, I agree. And I think she's just not into either one of the guys now. It's just more so playing the game. And I believe that comes out a little more as we see the episode too.
Okay. Okay. Let me go back over here to comments and see. Well, oh my goodness. Stay tuned. He gave this whole episode an F minus. That was rough. Stay tuned. My goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys know that Stay Tuned has his own channel on YouTube. You guys got to go over there and check it out. He does a lot of the recaps also, and he's very good at it. Marcia has the assets that are mesmerizing to any guy out there. I guess she does. She's very beautiful, and I hear she's a fashion designer, and she wears some really stunning clothes. Really stunning. Ooh, y'all. Okay, let me take that off the screen. Y'all a mess. Yeah, Tony does seem very competitive. Um, mm-hmm. 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 So yeah, so anyway, so Uncle Nephew Tommy is telling the guys that we're going heading over to the retreat, and everybody is ready. Um let's see. Nobody lost a leg to the gators on the boat. The Seagulls finally make it to the retreat house, and they're then they start to running around trying to get the best room, because anybody that's watched reality TV, you know it's all about getting the very best room. Andre is still in his feelings about Mercedes not checking in on him while he was ill. I don't know. When is he gonna let that one go? But did you see that this house had some rooms with bunk beds and some room with double beds, guys?
Yeah, I saw that. I wonder why they did that for these grown people. But I guess it's a good way, like the ladies did pair off and say that they were going to take the bunk bed room, and that was just
Hmm.
different for me.
Right, yeah. Even Sue Ann said that she hoped that Blake doesn't snore. Keena, what were your thoughts?
I thought that was pretty interesting that they had bunk beds. I mean
Yeah.
that for grown people and on a romantic show, that's a bit weird.
Yeah. So I don't know if these is just because I've never been to one yet, so I'm a little behind. But are these just kind of typical though for Airbnbs, that they typically are set up so that families can come and enjoy the area? Is that kind of how it goes?
But yeah, but they've had um did they have another season with bunk beds on any show?
Oh yeah. Even going back to, was it DC or Potomac with Carmen and Donovan? They were in the bunk bed room. Remember that?
Mhm.
Oh, yep, you're right. Okay, yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know. I guess they get what's available. I guess I don't really know how they book those, but I'm just thinking they kind of get what's available. Um. Anyway, Lyndon wants to play Tony for Morgan's honor. They get to the the pool room, and they're playing pool, and Lyndon says he's going to play for her honor. She comes running in the room, and she is told that the men are playing for her honor. And for some reason, she's all over the floor, rolling around. Grown woman. I'm not understanding. Jay, what do you think's going on here? Is she in with this stuff? Is she for it?
Morgan, unfortunately, is still living in her toxic life, so she is totally for it, but she doesn't understand the the
Mm.
negativity that comes behind it, all the extra you got to do behind it, that it deal with the heartbreak and all that stuff, and it comes later on in the episode. So, like, you keep playing games like this is some of the outcome you get when we're not
Mm.
matured and healed.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, because she's definitely a walking red flag. But the the way that the what's going on between her and Tony, I just feel like something else might have been going down off camera for him to be acting the way he be acting.
Really? Like, I mean, give us a little hint there. You sound like you been under doing the investigation and whatnot and whatnot. What might do you think that they maybe have already consummated the relationship? And we just laugh with our glass of wine. Okay.
It, I mean, there is tension in the air. I feel her.
I mean, but why is it so much though? You know what I'm saying? Because we know they do a lot of back. We know on the show that they do a lot of off camera talking and off camera hooking, like seeing each other, right? So I just think it might be a little bit more than what we're actually seeing for him to be like, nah, you mine, like we together, like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not crazy. So why is he saying this?
Hmm. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I think going back to Jay, something you were just saying about the toxicity or the negativity. Could you kind of maybe elaborate a little more on that?
What the toxicity? Okay, so when
What
we
you
were
meant?
younger, can you hear me? You hear me
Yes.
all right? Okay. Okay, so when you were younger, when we do these little things, we sometimes think it's cute when guys are fighting over us, but
Right.
we
When
don't
we're young.
really realize like what we feeding into, the misogyny that we're feeding into, the potential danger we're putting ourselves in, because some people act out like Tony and some people live their life in that way Tony showed himself. And so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we put ourselves in danger by playing in this toxic type pool, thinking it's cute
Mm-hmm.
to have two men having an ego batch in front of you or whatnot. Because a lot of times that never ends well. And in this case, it happens to end by her getting thrown into the fire.
Right, right. And really what we see later on, we're going to talk about a little bit more when we get there, is that maybe it's kind of like you become an object to these men, right? While you thinking it's all cute and fun and games,
Exactly.
you become like a prize, like an object, not even a person with actual feelings anymore, you know? Kimberly, what did you see in that? Did you kind of peep that game, or what were you thinking?
Yeah, kind of. For the love of Morgan, interesting, but I don't know that Morgan is really into, like I said, either one of them. Maybe she should kind of back off Tony as we see further in the scene. We won't jump ahead, but I
Right.
just don't know. There's something there, and maybe it's just the fact that Tony, would not let Marcia go. You could really tell that something was growing there. But maybe Morgan now is more so insecure because she doesn't feel like she could be the one he really chooses and focuses on, because she knows the connection that he had with Marcia.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's something like like you said. There's some kind of tension there, some kind of weird energy, but we're not, as the viewers, we're not really privy to what exactly is going on behind the scenes. But we kind of sense it, though. There's some more stuff going on that we're missing as the viewers, right?
Yeah.
And I think every year on Ready to Love, like we hear them say as they do their interviews, the castmates, that, oh, we're not supposed to see each other outside of the camera, but many of them do end up doing just that. And so we miss it. We don't understand why this is the way it is. Um, but moving forward, Andre and Jeffrey, they are really kissing. They are kissing, and everybody, all of the singles are all pitching in to make meals and drinks as a collective group. So that was really good. Um, we see Jeffrey step out privately with Mark Anthony, and she tells him that she's in her head. Um, but it seems to me like she's just trying to give him blow a whole bunch of hot air up his behind. But at the same time, it seems to me that she's already made her connection, because she's kissing already on Andre the tendril, and he's clearly hugged up with who is it, Mercedes? It seems like they both have made decisions elsewhere, but I don't know if this is part of the magic of Ready to Love, that we're supposed to believe that they still like each other like that. Anybody have any thoughts on it?
I just don't know. How did Andre get so lucky? Doesn't he have Mercedes, Cynthia, and Jeffrey? I think
Yes, yes.
that's his
All of the
thing.
fine arse women on the show, like the tendril.
Yes,
Yes.
right. I'm just not feeling it now. I would love to see Andre and Jeffrey, make it or whatever, but I'm just not feeling it. Cynthia, I wish she could get better than Andre, but I guess this is just what we have. And at some point, you just have to weigh the pros and the cons. And I guess that's what the ladies are doing.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. You get this is who they've been given. It seems like, and I'm sorry, guys, but it seems like the women this season are like hand and foot above the guys in so many
Yes.
areas. The looks department, the accomplishments department. I mean, like I'm really trying to figure out, like, except one or two of the guys, like, no, no. Come on. Can we do better? Can we do better? Can
Yeah.
we get in some reciprocity there? Where the rest of the men at? Or do men not want to come on these type of shows?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I
They don't
really
want.
do, because that you get edited out and it may not look so good, especially if you have something to lose a lot of
Right.
times. And you just don't know, I'm assuming you just don't know what type of edit you'll end up with. And it could go really bad.
You're right. You're right. Because I've heard some things that I'm not at liberty to say. But even going back to one of the DC seasons, there was there's a lot of stuff that can affect people even in their professional life, right?
Yeah.
And so the guys that have the good jobs and make a lot of money that maybe are single and might want to come on the show, they have to reevaluate it because of the experiences that some of the previous castmates have had with this show throwing shade on their character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, at dinner time, Tony's irritated. He's irritated that Lyndon is even there. He seems to take everything out on poor Lyndon. There's a lot of back and forth. Um Tony is basically saying like, "Hey, I have kissed this woman." Oh wait a minute, I think that's. I'm sorry, that comes later. That comes later. Um, I'm saying, what is this? I can't even read my own notes. This is sad. Anthony asks if Sue is ready. Okay, so moving forward, another scene. Anthony asks Sue if she's ready to make her decision, and she tells him, she lets Anthony know that he has dropped the ball. Anthony claims that he didn't know he was into her until it was too late. And I'm very thrown off by this whole conversation because at the end he says he's going to focus elsewhere in his confessional. I'm very confused by this. Does anybody else think this whole conversation is very chopped up? We're not getting a full combo. Keena?
Yes, it was a lot of editing in that because like I said, there's a lot of stuff we're missing.
Yeah.
So we really couldn't put it together, and I guess we're gonna have to wait to the reunion because it
Hmm.
was like, what is going on?
Yeah, we would get bits and pieces. It didn't like he was responding to stuff. I'm like, that's not making any sense unless they cut out. And then I just figured it out. I said they're cutting out a lot of what he's saying, a lot of what she's saying. Uh, Jay, if your mic is open, what are your thoughts about this? Is it just me, or is this the edit? I think what's going on here with these conversations?
I just thought it was just like fluff, like they've been giving us the whole season. To be honest, like
Hmm.
um,
Yeah,
it was a
I agree.
conversation that I guess needed to happen, but didn't need to happen because Suanne wants closure, I guess, but didn't want closure. She wanted to know if he wanted her, but he don't want her, so he don't want to tell her that a lie. It was just like, oh, we seen you do this dance already. You guys kind
Okay.
of did it at the house, so why are we doing it again?
Okay, so is it when he says that he decided that he was into her, but it was too late, so he's just really kind of giving her the soft shoe and tap and dance to kind of like not hurt her feelings? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if it's not hurt her feelings, but he already knew he wasn't into her, whatever, and it's not really too late. I think that was just a soft cover for himself to be like, when she said no, but at the same time, her no and afterwards was like, really? So she didn't really want him just to cut her off either. So I'm like, both of you guys don't want each other, but yet you want to play like you do. Just, just bye.
Right, right, right. Isn't it? Because I'm thinking to me, it seems like the only person that Sue has ever really been attracted to this season on this show is Blake. I mean, like maybe the other men don't really have enough gravitas for her, except for maybe Anthony because he's a nurse practitioner, right? I'm thinking that she's not really. Although I'm wondering why not a maybe a Tony, or is that too much alpha male for her?
No,
You
I
know?
just think I don't think they fancy each other. And I think they were just kind of trying to hold on to each other for votes, but
Oh, okay.
without saying it. So they're kind of both awkwardly doing this thing together where they're not getting on each other. They're not getting each other's hints, yet they're dropping the same hint.
Oh, okay,
That's kind of
okay.
like what I'm saying. Like they're doing the same thing, whereas I don't really want you, but I need you around to keep me around type thing. But I don't want to lie to you and make you feel some type of way. So I'm gonna keep asking you a stupid question like, do you want me? And I'm gonna keep tap dancing around that answer. That's what they keep doing back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I see it. Like I said, I'm wondering sometimes with Sue Ann because she has said a few times, well, that Anthony really isn't giving her what she needs. So then, but yet and still, she keeps asking him, well, it's like she's trying to ask him something and get him to fight for her, but clearly he's not going to. He's clearly not going to fight for her. So, Andre and his tendril still has a chat with Cynthia to talk to chat, but what I see is no lips, no choosing, because Cynthia ain't laying them lips on Andre and his tendril the way Jeffrey been laying them lips on him. So I think, she's not gonna make it because sometimes guys need a little bit more than just a chit chat. uh what do you think? Hop in there.
I
When
don't
Tina,
I
oh,
don't
sorry.
think that I mean this is like a horrible season. So it's just hard because I don't really see any true connections. I don't I don't really think Cynthia, I think that's like fluff. I think, that's like someone that she's, just connecting with so she can stay on the show and have two people, because you got to have two people, right? To keep
Mm-hmm.
to keep going, unless you have a real strong connection. And she doesn't really have a real super strong connection with anyone. I don't
Well,
think so. I mean, she has Anthony, but I mean, how strong
mhm.
really is that connection?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I see them kissing later on, but I think that's for next episode. But you could be right though. I don't really know who her true connection is, and does her ex play a part in that? Because like, remember when her ex met the guys a few episodes ago? Does her ex being so hardcore, does that have anything to do with her not really having a connection?
Like I said, I really like Cynthia.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But I really like Cynthia. I think she's beautiful. I think
Mm-hmm.
she's one of my I really like her. But I think it was Andre who said that she comes off a little rehearsed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that was what he said when they met the friends. Like, it's like when he talks to her, it's almost too good to be true. And I feel that. Like, it's like, she studied this show. She knows what she's doing. Like, it just seems fluffy to me. I don't know.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know either. I don't know what's really going on here, but well, we'll move forward. Thank you guys for keeping that chat going there. Don't forget to drop down if you're on the replay to drop down in the comments and keep the chat alive and going there too. Um, okay, we've got this little part. Mercedes didn't. So then we're back in the kitchen and everybody's kind of having drinks, and Mercedes sitting down on the bar stool next to Lyndon, and she's very open and honest with Lyndon and tells him that of course she's chosen Mark Anthony. And in that moment, we see Lyndon, he comes back and he tells us, well, he's going to have to eliminate her or put her up for elimination. And I don't know, maybe I don't understand the rules of Ready to Love, but I'm thinking, well, why would he want to eliminate her before he recommends somebody else for elimination? Is it just me, Keena? How does that go? Like, when you have a connection or you've had a connection with somebody and you can see that they connect with someone else, shouldn't you actually be looking for somebody who has no connection to recommend for elimination, Keena? Okay. Kimberly, you there?
Yes, I am. It makes sense to me. I see your point. But like I said before, I am not familiar. I cannot get no understanding of how this show goes because I don't understand how Blake is still here. Look, I know I'm jumping ahead, but just
Right,
him, to
right,
me, he doesn't really have a connection with Sue Ann. So I don't understand the game that they play, and maybe that's why Anthony is kind of backing off because he doesn't want that competition with Blake. So that's all I can see.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, Roro's got a point that on another channel, and I think I saw that interview too. Marcia is saying that they're not showing all the connections. I did see an interview with her
Hmm.
where Marcia was saying they're not showing all the connections, and I'm going, well, wow, isn't that what the whole show is about? Hey, Kirby. Kirby's agreeing. They're not showing all the connections. I don't want to be blindsided at the last on the bridge when somebody proposes or says, I want to go all the way with you. And we've never even seen them together. I'm not understanding. And Kenya,
Right.
hey Kenya from Cali, she's saying Cynthia's not giving any affection to Andre, puts her at a disadvantage. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
But I kind of like Cynthia and Anthony a little better. Anthony is not consistent though, and I think that's going to be a problem for
Hmm.
Cynthia. But I
Okay.
like them together better.
I do too. I do too. I get exactly what you're saying. I do like them. They seem like they would have the most because he's the one that Anthony also has a daughter, right?
Yes.
And
Oh,
she has
a
children.
child,
So
sure. Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah, so we could see them making it together more so than her and somebody else that doesn't have children. So yeah, I could see
Right.
that. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Let me get back over here to these little notes. Um, and so now we're at the dinner time, and finally we get to this big match between Tony and Lyndon. Tony tells Lyndon, how does he feel knowing that for the fact that he has kissed Morgan 3, 4, 5 times, and he hasn't, and he being Lyndon hasn't kissed her at all. Lyndon says that Tony that Lyndon says Tony says that if Marcy had been there, that he could have had Morgan. So like, wow, I was just shocked when he said that. Like that, my heart went out for Morgan because that was kind of crazy. Um, what are your thoughts? Anybody? What were your thoughts when the guys were having this argument, basically over Morgan, and with Lyndon saying that if Marcy had been there, that Tony was saying that Morgan was just an afterthought at that point if Marcy had been there.
How do you recover from that? How can
Exactly.
Tony cannot recover? I'm glad he admitted to it.
Mhm.
That made me give him a point. I was like, okay, go Tony. He, stood up and said, yes, I did say that. And then
Mhm.
he, tried to make Morgan feel a little better and said, you've been my connection since day one, but at this point, I'm like, oh my goodness. I guess that's where they got the title bro code broken. But
Yes.
I don't know if the bro code was really broken because this is a man who's trying to protect the woman that he may have a connection with. So I don't feel that Lyndon broke the bro code. So I would have loved to hear the male perspective on that one. But that was a very scary dinner. But doesn't it always happen like that? These dinners, the truth come out when you get everybody on this resort style living, everybody's in the same house, and that dinner always brings out the truth.
Yeah, that's how it happens. And like you said, I will give Tony at least a half a point or maybe even a whole point for standing up and being a man and saying, and Keena, by the way, she's saying she's having some technical difficulties. That's why we're seeing her coming in and out. So hopefully
I
those
can hear now. It's
you can
back. I
hear.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Hey,
Hey, back
what's
guys.
up, my Keena?
Right.
Hey.
I'm back in my Jeffrey voice.
It's silly. You are so silly. But back to what Kimberly was saying though. I give Anthony a half. I'm sorry, Tony. I give Tony a half or a whole point for being honest and saying yeah that he stepped up and saying he said what he said. But then he tries to backtrack and say, well, men
Yep.
say all kinds of things. Well, yeah, we know men say all kinds of things, but we're talking about you specifically. So I don't think the defense of well, men say all kinds of things, which, ladies, are you listening? Because he's telling us a real truth here. Men say everything that they can say sometimes to get in them drawers. So
Mm.
he's telling the truth, but it doesn't excuse him. You said what you said, and don't try to say that you were angry because Lyndon's saying in the next breath, no, sir, you were not angry. You were just simply
Nope.
stating how you felt. What do you think, Keena? Do you think that Tony was really? I mean, yeah, that Tony did he say what he said and meant it, or what? What do you think?
I definitely think he meant that shit. No, for real.
Hmm.
Like he meant it. He meant it,
Mm,
but he has to say that because like he don't want to look crazy. So he had
mm,
to backpedal and clean that up, or he was gonna look crazy.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
he was gonna get sent home.
How would you, let me ask you this, Keena, because you've been on the show before. How would you have felt had it been you and you had true, let's say you had true feelings for Tony, as you know, you were connected to him and felt he was a connection. How would you have felt about it after the fact, after was exposed at the dinner table? Would you still have feelings for him?
Like I would. It would be a red flag for me. You know what I'm saying? So I would be like, dang, like really, like you, like why you doing all of this? But again, like Tony, he's an alpha, he's an aggressive man, and his approach is a little bit more straightforward because he's from New York, so he has that New York stuff with him. You know what I'm saying? So his approach is a little rough, and and he's being a little territorial. But again, I definitely think that it would bother me a little bit. But I mean, for somebody that's putting nair in a nigga's head, like I mean, she shouldn't. Sorry, she shouldn't be that. She shouldn't be that worried.
Right. Okay.
Because I mean, like, are you really in your feelings right now, Morgan? I mean, you are crazy.
Okay. Alan V, if Suan isn't his only connection, then who is? Tell me that, because this is you scaring me. Somebody else is connected to Blake?
No,
Wow.
I don't. Heck no.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at Ellen V, and she's got inside scoop too, like you. She's kind of our roving reporter, and she's saying, I guess she's been following the whole situation. And Marcy, who is on the show, and was there, is saying that Suan wasn't Blake's only connection. So I don't know who that other connection was. Maybe it'll come out. I can't wait for the reunion because they need to clarify some things. They need to clarify some things. I see Kenya in the chat. Got a lot of good stuff going on here. Lots of good comments, guys. I'm trying to get through all of them. That Jeffrey voice. Right. Kena did us the Jeffrey voice, right? Okay,
and
guys.
You know, Jeffrey is, you know, she is a trained, she's trained in voice and
voiceover.
So that's why I just don't buy it. Like, I don't buy that voice. I mean, it works. It's cute, you know. So kudos for her.
Got all the guys sniffing behind her. So
you got all the guys sniffing behind her. I need to take some classes, Jeffrey. If you listening, girl, let me know I can sign up so I can get into my sexy, soft voice. You know, but I never brought it.
She got some things that we can all learn from, because even Marcy is saying that Jeffrey, she's on to some things, right? You know, so pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Kena, go ahead. What were you saying?
I never brought it from the beginning. I never brought that voice.
Oh, okay. You never brought that was her real voice. So you guys really think that's not her voice, huh?
No, hell no.
So jaded. Jay, are you jaded over there? Are you still with us? What's going on, girl?
I'm still here. I'm just listening and being thoroughly entertained.
Well, thank you for that. Make sure you hit the like button. The guys that are in the chat watching us on replay, be sure you hit the like. And replay crew, I gotta tell you, you guys are doing better now hitting that like button. Thank you so much. But anyway, so Lyndon steps up in the next scene and he goes and apologizes. He gives a heartfelt apology to Morgan. And I really like him in this moment. Like, everybody's always screaming about the alpha male, but there's something about Lyndon being calm, being mature, and apologizing that he feels bad that they made Morgan seem like she was just an object. It's something about him coming to her and apologizing right off the bat that made me really say, you know what? Maybe Morgan needs to give him a real serious look. Are you guys thinking anything, or is it the roommate that's scaring these women off because he has that roommate? What do you guys think?
I think Lyndon BSing.
Oh, you think he's BSing?
I think that's BS. A lot of times people will be the first one when they really wrong to go and apologize right there in the moment. Like, if you don't realize you did something wrong,
okay,
it might take a couple of people to come and talk to you first and say, you realize what you just actually did. He knew what he did. He knew what he did or whatever, and it didn't probably go the way he thought it was going to go. But he had intentionally said what he said in front of everybody.
Okay.
He says
Oh,
it in his confessional. Basically, he tells you, he said, this wasn't something I planned on doing early in the day,
okay,
but at
right.
some point he planned on doing it. And if you
Ah,
watch that whole scene, now granted, when you watch that whole scene from earlier when there's that table, yes, Tony is egging him on, and it starts off from there, but you still didn't have to go there. As soon as she
mm,
walks in the room, you say that.
yeah, yeah, you got a point there. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not as genuine. I don't know. I mean, you don't feel like that in the moment that he felt pushed by Tony, who Tony was kind of basically taunting him. That I've kissed this woman 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Like, really, really,
Yeah,
Tony? Is that what we
but
doing now? Kissing and telling?
this Tony is saying something while she's not in the room, which is, yes, he's still a jab. But as soon as she walk in the room, this is what you decide to say, and it's at her expense.
Okay. Okay.
This is not something you pulled her to the side. Now, if you like, I can give you a little bit more points. Like you pulled her to the side and be like, "I'm sorry that you found out like this or whatever and stuff." It's different, but you embarrassed her in front of everybody.
Everybody. Yeah,
trying to
you're
get at
right.
trying to get at Tony. So now if I start calculating everything, now first y'all's playing pool again for me. Not even with me included. You're playing pool back and forth. Then the stuff at the table that I hear or whatnot. Now you come and apologize like right off the rip. Like I can't totally take you for true. I'll accept your apology. And
Hmm.
this is something only Morgan can really decide because I'm a vibration person, so I have to feel your
Okay.
energy to see what
Oh,
energy you're giving me when you give me the apology. So me seeing it off the screen, I'm just going off of no energy. I can't. So I'm
yeah.
just got to go off of the whole thing. But she can tell you if she felt something in that moment that made him feel sincere. For me, it's just not coming off totally sincere. It's just like, oh, I
Mm,
realized that you got hurt in this process of me being bravado to
manly.
the next man. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
machismo. That's what they call that true toxic masculinity right there.
yeah, but machismo usually is directed like to women
Okay. Okay.
and stuff. Yeah. It's just, you're doing this against a man, but at a woman's expense. So I guess it could possibly be a bit of machismo in there too.
Okay. Okay. But do you feel like it's toxic masculinity or is it just toxic behavior, period?
No, them two together, yeah, it's toxic masculinity. Tony is outright with it, but Lyndon is undercover with it. Cause like you've been doing a little stuff all day too. You've been doing it silently though.
Right, right. He's a little more. You're right. You're right about that. I see your point. Yeah. Um. And moving to the next scene, Jeffrey. How do you guys feel about it? So, Andre the tendril is in the hot tub. And Jeffrey, who's outside the hot tub, is talking to him. Now she's just got on her leggings, no swimsuit. But before the scene ends, of course, she is in the hot tub, leggings and all, with her lips wrapped all over Andre's. Like, wow. Is it kind of offering of sorts so that she's not in the bottom? Because I noticed he did mention about one woman going home the next day. So do you think do you guys feel like he's kind of, it's almost kind of like a subtle ultimatum, or am I misreading the signals?
I feel like Jeffrey really likes Andre because after the date at, I think it was his home where he cooked her dinner, she
Mm-hmm.
made comments already about, can we get married already, or something along those lines about getting married quickly to him. So I don't
What?
even think,
Go
hmm,
ahead. Go
yeah,
no.
I
Go
don't even
ahead.
think she's playing the game. I think she really likes this man.
Hmm. I think she maybe really likes him, but I don't know though. But because too, remember what she said in the car? She said one man we want and one man we need. So which one do you think Andre the tendril is? Is he the man she wants or the man that she needs or what?
Mm, yeah.
Mm, right.
I don't know.
That's where it gets a
I,
little shady though, because she's talking about a man she wants, and like if it were for a woman, do you want to be the woman that your man needs or the woman that your man wants, or what? What do you think? Which is
I want to
better?
be, I want to be a want. Like I want to be desired. I
Okay.
don't want
Okay.
it to be like, oh, he just needs me to cook or he needs me to clean. No, I want him
Right.
to want my presence and want to spend time with me, want to grow with me. But I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, that's kind of messy. Anybody else? Keena or Jay, you
I
got any
I
thoughts?
want I
Hmm.
want and need to be both. That's what I want. Okay. I need to be his wants and his needs. I need to
That's
be
what
his
I was
everything.
thinking. That's what I was thinking. I think we need to cover all those bases. Like I want to be the everything because that's the whole point, right? Keena, what you thinking over there? I know you got some thoughts on this, or maybe not. Keena, you having technical difficulties again. Tony doesn't allow. So anyway, so Tony moving forward with this with the next scene. Tony comes eventually to offer what I called a half-arse apology to Morgan. Um, and while he's still trying to like just kind of backtrack and I don't know, side dip and everything but accept his full responsibility. So really it's not a full apology. And then when as soon as Morgan says anything, you notice that Tony doesn't want to allow her to even communicate her feelings or thoughts. So what was the point? Like, are we not having a conversation or is it just you apologize and she's automatically supposed to accept it?
It could be just me at this point, but how Tony acted in this moment is like he just here for the game. He just here to win. Here to win the show. He's here to win Morgan and at her game, but not really at her heart.
Right.
He's just in it for sport right now, and that's what
It's
he's giving me. Because to sit
mm-hmm.
here and give a half a apology, then kind of gaslight her in the apology when she brings up a situation where she's like showing you this is how I behave, and I expect you to behave this way as well. And he want to say this is not tit for tat and shut her down and act like she bringing up Marcia for no reason and real quick. And it's like, let's admit that you have some kind of feelings for Marcia. Yes, she gone.
Right.
I'm still here, and you did what you did. How is that? How are you now flipping this on me?
Right.
And then want
Exactly.
to sit there and ask her, well, what you gonna do? Yeah, I need a yes or no, like now. So you're doing all too way too much or whatever for your ego and your confidence to me. So it's just at this point, you're just trying to win at hurting me, I guess, because this is ridiculous. So
Very.
thank you,
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I do. I think you, like you said, he's not for him to demand that she give him an answer. Like, what are you going to do? Like you said, it seems like at this point it's all about the sport for him and making it to the end. Like, what is it about this show that some of the people get so caught up in making it to the end they don't even care about the connection?
But I think something else has gone down. I think there's a lot of
Uh oh.
information we don't know.
Uh
That's why
oh.
I said, like, for him to be acting like that, like, really, it's not like he getting money at the end of the show. Like, why is he like? So I feel like something else is happened that we don't know about, and he a little in his feelings.
Like what, for
Ken,
example?
I feel like that about him and her and Jeffrey and Andre. Because I'm
Okay,
like
guys.
I've done a lot up and down the screen.
Okay, listen, wait a minute, wait. I'm gonna need one or both of you to paint some like pictures, like just call them scenarios or ideas or you imagine, but like what exactly could be happening behind the scenes? I'm gonna start with you, Keena. What do you think could be
I think that
happening?
people are having off camera conversations, as we know, which is infamous on this show, and
Yep.
people are linking up outside of cameras on this show that is not being filmed. What people are going, people hang out at each other's homes and all
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff. So what is going on when they're hanging out in people's homes? I don't know, but all I
Ooh.
can say is we all could be creative and think, hey.
They might be having
Maybe
hot and
something going
heavy.
down outside the DMs. I don't know.
Ooh, hot and heavy time, possibly, huh?
I'm just saying. I just feel like it's something more.
Hmm.
That's what I mean. He said he done kissed her all these times. When? Because we ain't seen it on camera.
Mm-mm. No,
So
not 5, 6 times.
so
No.
clearly they're doing more kissing somewhere else.
Ooh. Mm. Mm, mm,
I'm just,
mm.
I'm just, I'm just being on. I'm just saying. He
Yeah,
said, and
we
she
just
didn't.
imagining. We don't know, but we just imagining, right?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't say I ain't kissed you that many times. She just sat there like, oh shit.
No, right. She never did correct. You're right. She never did correct them. So, like, she wasn't disagreeing that we didn't kiss 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. She ain't never corrected them. So, I take it that she was in agreement with that. Jay, I want to bring you in. Like, what was it that you were imagining or thinking, or what could possibly, in your opinion, be going on? Like, what imaginings could be that we're not seeing? What is it? Give us some ideas, because I'm just trying to think. What could it be?
So technically, I'm not into imagining grown folks doing what grown folks do. So I'm just
Ooh,
going to say I speculate that people are being grown and,
okay.
tending to life the way that some grown folks do when they don't care that God is watching. So, that's a nice way to put it. And I just
Okay.
get that from a couple of couples on this show right now, namely
Okay.
Morgan and Tony and Jeffrey and Andre.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, like my mama used to say, that kissing sometimes brings on things. Kissing, kissing, kissing. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's very possible. That is very possible. Then I wondered this though. So let's just say, for example, if I speculate that Morgan and Tony are kissing, 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 and doing some more stuff, then I wonder, where does that leave Marcia? Hmm. I know she's off the show, but it seems like Tony's still trying to run her down too. So I don't know.
Marcia ain't thinking about Tony. Okay.
Ooh,
But
ooh.
let's be honest, in some scenarios, there are people, mostly times that are guys, that will sit here and get at the one they feel is the easiest or they have in the bag already,
Mhm, mhm.
while still secretly trying to maneuver on the other one that is a little bit harder.
Mm, yeah.
Ooh.
So just because you got another connection somewhere is not going to totally say cut it off, especially when you're being allowed to do it.
Right, because that's the whole premise of the show, is that you've got these multiple connections, right? Oh, okay, okay. One of the last couple things about, I want to get back into this apology that Tony was giving to Morgan, and whether or not, I don't know if he's a hothead allegedly or not, but I had to say this from a personal perspective. I took offense to the idea that Tony was basically trying to lay out the premise that this is manhood, and manhood is about lying and trying to get into women's drawers. And I thought, you know what, Tony, that's something that maybe you could say that for your circle of friends, of male friends, but not all men are like that, because that's kind of how you were throwing it out there, like it was all men. And certainly it cannot be all men, but maybe that's what's cool between you and your bros. That's what they do, right? But anyway, in the next morning, Tommy checks in with the men to see how they're feeling, who's their top connection, and who should be going home. And many of the men point to Sue Ann and Mercedes just not being their pick for one reason or another. Sue Ann is maybe too accomplished, and some of the men can't handle that, or she's a little bit older, she has children, some of the men don't like that, but yet they still like Jeffrey, so go figure. But Sue Ann and Mercedes are put up front, and everyone is gathered, and Mercedes and Sue Ann are called forward, and they're being told that, Mercedes, you know what, you put some of the guys in the friend zone, and Sue Ann, you're just really not opening up to the man. And we are left with what? Once again, another cliffhanger. Any idea on who you think will be going home next week, ladies?
I don't think nobody goes home.
You think they're going to do something different? They're going to kind of throw a curveball in there again, once again?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna send nobody home. I think it's gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna give you another chance. Get it right, y'all. Like one of those type things.
Get it together, huh? Okay, okay, yeah. Because one thing about it, and Ron couldn't make it here today. He's entertaining. We miss you, Ron. We miss you. But one thing we know from Ron is that Sue Ann is not going home. Sue Ann got about as much chance of going home as Blake does, and that's zero zip nada, not a chance at all. So we know it's not going to be Sue Ann. At least I do. Jay, what are your thoughts about it? You any idea who might be going home next week between the two ladies?
You say it's not Suin, and I say it should be Suin. I really don't know though. It's fair game
Mm-hmm.
with the two of them to go home, but in my opinion, who should go home is probably Suin. I feel like Mercedes got a little bit more of a solid connection that's genuine there. So I don't know.
Mm. You feel like it should be Sue Ann because why you don't feel like her connection with Blake is strong enough? I'm sorry, or I'm
I
missing. I'm
don't think
sorry.
it's I don't think it's genuine in that type of relationship. Like I don't think it's like I don't
Hmm.
see. I'm not getting spark. I'm not getting anything from that relationship. It's just we're cool.
Hmm. Oh,
But
okay.
where I look at Mark Anthony and Mercedes, even though it might not be right, there's something there, and there's something worth exploring, in my opinion, because you never know.
Oh, okay. I'm in the wrong. Okay. Oh, all right. Hmm. What about you, Kimberly? Any thoughts?
Yes, thank you. I'm so glad you asked. Send Sue Ann home, and then hopefully Blake can get out of here because I'm like you all. I don't see the true connection. Anytime Blake and Sue Ann kiss, it's like a little pet. It's so nothing's there. So I don't know why. I think they're just playing the game and trying to make Sue Ann, or not make her look good, but keep her in a good light. And so maybe that's why they're letting her ride the wave out to the end. But I vote Sue Ann should go.
Hmm. You vote that she should go. Well, I mean, if
Yes.
we let her go, what in the world is Blake going to be doing on the show? What in the
He's gonna
world?
be going next, hopefully.
Well, we getting close to what was this episode 10. We only got two more episodes and then we're into reunion. So I don't think Blake going nowhere.
But we still
She,
have too many people because don't somebody has like two guys have three connections, so they need to send a woman home. And that's just
Hmm.
what I'm thinking.
Hmm. There's what comes before the reunion, Kena? Do you remember what comes before the reunion show? There's something else. I mean, and
meet the
besides,
parents. The parents.
oh, we haven't had that yet. Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So that should be coming up after this retreat. They should be
Yep.
meeting the parents, and the parents are going to have a say so about some of these men and women about who should be picking whom. I don't know, but it's all a mystery to me. But the one thing I do know, and I'm a firm believer, and I would bet my last $10 is that Blake is going to be there
Oh
at the bridge scene. It's going to be Blake and Sue Ann. Don't you guys see it? Y'all
I
no,
don't
do.
see it?
I don't want to see it. I'm in denial.
You're in
I'm gonna
denial.
tell you like this. I look at it from productions end. So from productions end, if I was in production, I'll be looking like Mercedes is a bit too real. She's a bit too honest. So we're gonna have to just send her home or whatnot. Then we have this little triangle that will go on a little stronger with Mark Anthony, Jeffrey, and Andre. That would keep you and still having Sue Ann and Blake there. And there you go, Aubrey. That's how he'll be at the bridge.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Kena, what are your final thoughts about the bridge scene? How does the bridge scene go down based upon what we see thus far?
I think Mercedes is gonna. If anyone's gonna go home right now, it's gonna be Mercedes.
Okay.
It won't.
Okay.
It won't be Sue Ann.
No, it won't be. It really won't be. Guys, you can bet your bottom dollar. Or, as been mentioned too, though, maybe none of these two women will go home at this point. Maybe they will keep Mercedes because I can see Mercedes and Mark Anthony walking off the bridge together. Right? You guys see that?
I can
They
see
make
that a lot more than a lot of other people.
Right. Well, they make a couple. Okay, then you got Blake and Sue, right?
You
And
trying.
and wait a minute, you're gonna have Jeffrey and Andre. There you go, your three couples right there.
You trying it still.
So you think Tony's gonna go?
Tony's going.
Tony's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go because I don't see him and Morgan making it, and I don't see Lyndon. Lyndon is gonna finally get tired of Morgan because he keeps asking Morgan, "Are you gonna pick me?" And she's saying, "I got to give Tony another chance." But why? Why do you have to give Tony another chance? To show you what? To show you that he thinks you're an object and you're just a BBL? Like, really? Is that what you're giving him a chance for? I don't get it. What's the point?
We are lusting. When we lust, we do crazy things. Trust. I remember those days. I remember those days.
Right. I remember them too. But the thing about it is, I wasn't trying to walk across the bridge with that person either. If that's all I'm doing is lusting for him, you
Well,
know.
I wasn't doing it on TV either, but it was just
Yeah.
as toxic.
That's true. That's true. But guys, we thank you for hanging in there with us. You guys have been a great audience. If you're catching this on the replay, by all means, drop down, leave us a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are. Did we miss something? Did you disagree with us? Did you agree with us? Whatever it is, drop down and let us know in the comments section. We appreciate you. I appreciate my panelists. We got Keena over here with the the Audacity podcast here on YouTube, and you got Jay, another round, also here on YouTube, another content creator, and of course we got Kimberly reviews also here on YouTube, guys. So catch all of these people, subscribe to them, follow them, check them out on social media. They're all over on Instagram, as am I. And we're gonna say goodbye because we out of this joint. Okay, bye. Say bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.